Hi, hello, welcome to Spell Day. We're covering spell every single day of the year from the 5e PHB +3. Those +3 spells are homebrew spells. We're at +1 at the moment. You can back up the playlist to find it. And today's spell is Locate Object.
Now, let's learn just how easy the Super Scanner is to use and how anyone can use it effectively. Operators should understand that even though their work with the Super Scanner may sometimes seem routine and repetitious, they are continually looking for weapons that can injure or kill. You may be the only one who can prevent a disaster.
Second level divination, casting time of 1 action, range of self, components for roll somatic material, a forked twig, duration concentration up to 10 minutes. Describe or name an object that is familiar to you. You sense the direction of the object's location as long as that object is within 1,000 feet of you. If the object is in motion, you know the direction of its movement. The spell can locate a specific object known to you as long as you have seen it up close, within 30 feet. At least once. Alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain kind of apparel, jewelry, furniture, tool, or weapon. The spell can't locate an object if any thickness of lead, even a thin sheet, blocks a direction path between you and the object. So this locate spell has the lead restriction, but not the other ones. Okay, first, love the material component reference to a dowsing rod. That's some fun. Second, again, action. Duration, concentration, this is good for tracking something down or in the middle of a chase, though in this case it would be normally chasing a MacGuffin or a specific kind of object or looking for a badge, especially because you don't have to see it, and there's no longer the restriction of the water from locate creature. Still 1,000-foot radius, virtual like radar for an object, though this does have an inverse clause, so when it came to locate creature, to locate a type of creature, you needed to be within 30 feet of it at least once before. When it comes to this, to locate a specific object, like one object in particular, you need to have been within 30 feet of it before. However, a type of object, or a object class, you could just say whenever, or look for it within 1,000 feet. The question I now have is how specific can you get before it counts as having to be a familiar or specific object? How specific is specific in the case of the spell? Because it also says a certain kind of jewelry furniture, so you can label a kind, like, oh, I want to be able to detect the nearest badge of office, or the nearest, sash of a guard or helmet of a guard of this one type of kingdom, and now you know a beat on wherever the nearest one is and the direction they're heading. This is like it's kind of the closest thing you can get to the dark sight or dark sight from Dishonored. I forget what it was actually called. Or in stealth games where you can see the cone of vision of an enemy and where they're walking, even through walls. Well, you can't actually see the silhouette of them. If you do this on the helmet or on something on that guard, you can roughly guess where they're looking because you'll know where they are and which direction they're moving. Though again, I just say how specific is too specific, or what's specific in the case of this spell. This does, however, have the lead restriction. But any other material, stone, wood, doesn't matter. It can even go through stories of a building to get to the object, as long as there's no thin sheets of lead in the way. Because that's the other thing. It doesn't have to be a container of lead, it's any lead in between, even a thin sheet. So even if someone just has a lead ingot that just happens to line up with the direct path towards the object, can't find it. I mean, yes, likely the scenario is going to be the chest, and the chances of a lead coin getting in the way are very unlikely, especially since you have a duration of 10 minutes. But this is hunting down a MacGuffin, but you could also use it to track, again, the badge of office, or certain members of a guild, or oh yeah, all the members of this Thieves Guild have a pin or a specific kind of dagger to signify who they are. You can track that, or look for that. In a crowd, at a market stall, anywhere really. It's a 1,000-foot radar, and you can keep it up for the 10 minutes and collect them. The issue is it's always the closest one, so you have any of these things already on you. Because where creature you could get really specific, when it comes to object, the specifics are again a bit vague, and the general usage of it might be a bit more difficult. Still, second level, single action, it's not the worst. Early levels, yeah, might be a bit harsh to break down, especially when you're more commonly to be searching for a creature, chase scene, knowing where it's going. When it comes to searching for an object, you likely already know the location of said object. Though, to be fair, in saying that, you're in a city and you need to know where a specific piece of jewelry, that's a specific thing. Like when you're looking for this one treasure that you're going to heist, you need to have already been around it, within 30 feet of it specifically. I guess you could set up a scenario where you're at a ball or a gala, and you get the person who can cast as close to that person within 30 feet during a dance. Then they leave, next days after, you know where it's locked up now. Or at least you now have the chance of using that 1,000-foot radar over those 10 minutes walking around the city or the palaces to find out where it is locked up. But still, a bit more, I could see this as being a little more limited case scenario. Though, okay, I say that now, even if you're just having trouble finding a specific kind of item or merchant or specific kind of dealer to get a certain object, whether it's illicit drugs, healing potions also count under this, magic items can also still be picked up by this. Oh, we want to know where the nearest scroll is. Cast this, it'll come up. Or magic scroll, if you want to be more specific, or spell scroll. Oh, where's the nearest wizard staff? Or where's the nearest wizard's book? You've now found your wizard, likely. Or, if you want to try and find and search out specific kinds of magic items, where's an item of detect thoughts? That might be, then again, item might be just a little too vague, even though the detect thoughts capability is a descriptor. That's up to GM. 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. Little less useful than locate creature. And again, the vagaries on what's specific or not. And I just see looking for an object coming up a bit less, and the fact this doesn't have a ritual option. Because that's the thing, is if this had a ritual option, I would definitely bring this up. I would say yes, but then again, you have the issue of the police state. It would be a little too powerful at that point when it comes to any kind of organization, especially since it's second level and likely more accessible. How often do you need to know the exact location and movements of an object, is what I'm bringing up. It's still good because there's not that many downsides. It's even a lower level compared to locate creature, but it just doesn't come up that often. And then you have the fact that the specific thing you now have to have been close to. 6 out of 10.